Peace. It's Brownbird here with another video. Before I begin, like and subscribe. Now, this is just a quick video for me to voice my opinion with a lesson I just learned a couple of minutes ago, not to get into conversation with certain people who have a negative energy towards viewpoints. Now, I've been assessing and analyzing this whole entire week about conversations about people being brutally honest, therefore demeaning them after being brutally honest, and therefore another attack on the so-called black men's side, especially because no matter what economical class you're in, you're still going to be viewed as an enemy because you have an opinion and because you stick to your masculinity. Now, with that being said, there are, of course, women that will never, ever, ever see the so-called black man as successful or see him as great or see him as a great man. And I understand that. It's not that I don't understand it now. I'm just appreciating this idea that women are always going to have these opinions regardless of what you say and what you do. And with that being said, I just want to leave off before I get out of here. Again, this is going to be a short video to just touch on the fact of the matter. I find it hilarious that the same old talking points that the so-called black woman always claims that the so-called black man does, that she always relies on social media in order to make the point salient. And it brings nothing but more conundrums and more just anger and frustration to the so-called black man's mind, that the so-called black woman has to go through a bullying tactic in order to make it seem like the so-called black man is still not worth anything to the society. And with that being said, I just never understand the hypocritical nonsense that's being spewed, when in reality that the so-called black man doesn't really care about the so-called white woman to the extreme that he views her and obsesses over the so-called white woman. That's just false. But again, the so-called black woman looks for any opportunity to down the so-called black man over false ass articles, or articles that may be true, or incidents or screenshots that may be true from said party, but will still find a way to make it seem like he's at fault for dating out or daring to not deal with the so-called black woman's bitter attitude. Now, I would not say to brothers that all so-called black women are evil or bad and all these different things, but the woman's nature is to be negative and to look for opportunities and to be negative and look for drama because they cater towards drama. Now, with that being said, I'm being very humble on my opinion, and I realize to stay out of certain conversations and move on and let it be to certain people who want to get involved. And this is the reason I advise brothers, please be more discerning about who you decide to have a conversation with when you disagree with them. If they have their mind made up, let them have their mind made up and move on about your day.